Today, on Live from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast.
I can bring you in warm.
Can I offer you a libation?
I'll give you 20 credits for the helmet.
Victory through combat is impossible.
I don't like falafel.
Or I can bring you in cold.
This is the way.
I have spoken.
Welcome, listeners, to episode 6 of Live from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and today we're talking about Star Wars The Mandalorian. So grab some bone broth, a flagon of spotchka, and get those tracking fobs ready. I just spent the last 48 hours binge-watching the first 2 seasons, and the first 3 episodes of Season 3. Wow. Wizard. This is Star Wars. I am 9 years old again. Overall, I am very happy with The Mandalorian, or Mando, as everyone calls him. New heroes, new ships, new blasters, new aliens, new adventures. Sign me up. I am thoroughly enjoying the space western feel, with a mix of interesting new characters, and some classic ones from across the saga, especially the surprise during the finale of Season 2. But luckily, before watching that Season 3 premiere, we received this viewing tip from our good friend Seamus McDougall.
Charlotte here. Well, I do recommend watching the book of Boba Fett in its entirety. You absolutely need to watch episode 5, aptly titled The Return of the Mandalorian, because they don't make any references to what happens here in the recap before the Season 3 premiere. It's basically the Mando Season 3 prologue. Take my word for it, the show won't make any sense unless you watch it first.
And Seamus, thank you so much for that tip. You are absolutely right. It's very puzzling that the Mando recap at the beginning of the Season 3 premiere lacks any and all references to what happens in this very key episode of the Book of Boba Fett, which I am now curious about, despite the advice received to otherwise skip the rest of it. So what do you think of The Mandalorian? Are the adventures of Din Djarin and Grogu refreshing and amazing to you? Or is it more the same droll that makes Star Wars feel like the universe is too small? We'll get to these perspectives and more on today's episode. And up first to talk about that surprise Season 2 finale, we welcome back Duke Dryhumper from Valencia, California. Welcome back, Duke.
Valencia, California. And it's Lark Licklooker.
Of course, so sorry, Lark. How's the spice trade going?
Excellent. We just had a PAC delegation pass through and award me Employee of the Parsec. But I don't work for anyone. I work solo Neo. But it's a nice little trophy. I have it on the shelf in the binary restroom.
Binary?
I don't ask questions.
No questions asked. That's the policy, right?
But I do have a plunger handy.
Okay. Well, let's talk about The Mandalorian. How about that Season 2 finale?
I needed to get my robes dry cleaned. I was in tears. It was everything we didn't get in The Last Jedi or The Rise of Horse.
Those are the new ones, right? I haven't seen them yet.
Don't waste your time. Force Awakens was fine enough, and I liked the reference to Luke's original last name, Starkiller. That name is cool as He also originally had a brother named Deke Starkiller. His original last name was Flame Runner, Deke Flame Runner. It was supposed to be Luke's cousin twice removed from his mother's side. Then Deke was reworked into a cutscene from the special edition where he operated a Ronto sausage shawarma cart outside of the cantina. Some troopers had come by and took some without paying. Deke's only line was, "Hey, I have kids to feed." Trooper responds, "What, they don't like shawarma?"
That's interesting. And strangely familiar.
I don't like falafel.
Lucas ultimately dropped the Starkiller name because he thought it sounded too violent like Charles Manson. But the toasted carcasses of Luke's aunt and uncle, totally okay.
Okay, thanks for checking in, Duke.
It's Lark.
Right, sorry.
Lark Licklooker.
Yes, well, thank you.
While filming scenes at Jabba's palace, Carrie Fisher refused to wear modesty tape.
That's great. Thanks so much for calling in, Duke. Lark. Great to hear from you. Our next guest today is Jiminy Clementine from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Jiminy, thank you so much for calling in today to talk about Star Wars The Mandalorian.
Hells yes. You betcha. I love me some Mando.
Me too, isn't it great?
Hells yes. It's fantastic. I love it. Mando, Baby Yoda, Carl Weathers, Boba Fett even. I love it all. I also love Nickelback. I'm going to start a Nickelback tribute band called Beskar-Back.
Beskar-Back? Oh, Beskar. I get it. That's cool. What instrument do you play?
I don't play anything, but it's Nickelback. How hard can it be?
I don't know.
TJ, what's your favorite Nickelback song?
I don't have one.
Wow, I'm the same way. You can't pick just one. I celebrate their entire catalog.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
I'm actually thinking of doing a Mando tribute album based on Nickelback songs. How you remind me of Mando. If today was your last day, Mando. Saving me, Mando. Figured you out, Mando. Burn it to the ground, Mando. What are you waiting for, Mando? I'd come for you, Mando. Skinny little Mando.
These are songs.
Hells yes, it's gonna be huge. I'm gonna be on the YouTube.
That's great. So getting back on track, do you have any favorite moments from The Mandalorian?
I like the scenes on his ship where they show his arsenal of weapons. I'd love to have an arsenal like that, but I'm not allowed to own firearms due to my federal conviction. So I have to settle for an antique hutch full of Nerf blasters. I love to go antiquing too.
Conviction?
Yeah, I was in prison for...
Jim, thank you so much for calling in today to talk about Star Wars and Nickelback and antiquing and your federal conviction. Great to hear from you. Our next guest today is Dale Shishkovich from Briny Breezes, Florida. Dale, thank you so much for calling in today to talk about Star Wars The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. This is the way.
This is the way.
So are you a big fan of The Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah. Let's just say that if it doesn't say Star Wars on it, I don't care. I'd buy dog poop bags if it said Star Wars on it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like if it said Carillion Hound waste disposal units, I'd buy it. I don't even have a dog.
Do you have any merchandise from The Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah. I have an electronic Mando helmet I got from Target. Oh, it's so cool. I'm wearing it right now. I'm never taking this off. This is the way.
This is the way.
Really? Never?
Well, only when I shower and eat and go to work and go to bed and go to the beach and get my hair cut, maybe my CrossFit class. But otherwise, never. I'm never taking this off. This is the way.
This is the way.
It sounds very cool.
Oh, yeah. It's got a little flashlight on the side. It's so cool. It's great for looking for snacks.
For snacks?
Oh, yeah. They have these new limited edition Mandalorian goldfish crackers with Mandalorian-themed shapes that make snacking fun for everyone.
Oh, those sound good.
Oh, yeah. These are just like the crackers Grogu eats in the show off camera. You can see sprinkles of cheese dust on his fingertips in certain shots.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They also have sugar-free Mandalorian character-shaped gummies. They give me horrible diarrhea, but I eat them anyway because Star Wars, this is the way.
This is the way.
Okay, that's great. Thanks so much for calling in, Dale. It's great.
I'm going to modify my Mando helmet with a tongue-activated cracker compartment so I don't ever have to take this off. Ever. Except, of course, when I eat crackers and go take a shit.
Yes, thank you so much, Dale, for calling in to talk about Star Wars The Mandalorian. Great to hear from you. And our final guest today is Joey Gelato from Brooklyn, New York. Joey, thank you so much for calling in today to talk about Star Wars The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. Happy to be here. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Sorry about the acoustics. I'm in a public bathroom at a train station.
Oh, that's okay. So how are you liking Mando so far?
You know, Mando's changed my life. I'm putting together a Captain America-inspired Mando costume I call it the Mandalorian America. And I'll be carrying a mighty shield made out of Beskar, the Star Wars answer to vibranium.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'm also trying out a Baby Yoda diet right now. Only bone broth, frogs, eggs, and pretty much anything else I find crawling around underground. I ate like a king when that last brood of cicadas emerged. Open season. I had to go to the emergency room only a few times, though.
Oh, wow, you shouldn't eat those.
I think a Baby Yoda-themed restaurant is a great idea. Baby Yoda's House of Frogs.
His name is Grogu.
Yeah, whatever. We'll have frogs 5 ways, the bone broth, chowder that bites your back, blue macaroons for the kids, a spatchka distillery, and shit that just blows up randomly, flies across the room.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out spatchka, though. I bet it's like that Slivovitz stuff they have in Bosnia. I'm gonna use that as the base.
That or the gas that's left in my lawnmower.
Well, Joey, we're about out of time today. Do you have any final thoughts on The Mandalorian?
I think Don Geronimo is the latest in an impressive line of Star Wars characters with equally impressive mustaches.
It's Din Djarin.
Yeah, whatever. But Biggs, Lando, Gassy, and Andor, half the Rebel strike team on Endor, Carl Weathers, Wolf Yalerin, all great f***ing mustaches. Even that Mando bad guy Moff Gideon had a cool bad guy mustache.
Wait, back up. Who's Wolf Yalorinian?
It's Wolf, not Wolf. He's the head of the ISB and was sitting at the table with Grand Moff Tarkington when Vader Force choked the f*** out of another officer that was disrespecting him.
And what's the ISB? Imperial something?
Jesus Christ. The Imperial Security Bureau? Don't you do Star Wars, TJ? This is a Star Wars podcast, right? It really gets explored in the new Andor show.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched Andor yet. Or Rogue One, for that matter.
You haven't seen Rogue One? You so need to end this podcast episode right now and go watch.
Next time on Life from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast.
We're Stardust. Are we Stardust? We're Stardust. Stardust.
Ziggy Stardust.
Stardust.
Lord Vader.
No, I'm David Bowie.